Okay, so it won't come down any further. Let's see what the obstruction is. Okay, so right now there's a little piece of wire in the way. You can see that we're resting right on a wire. That's not good. So what I need to do is cut some more material off of this right here so we can drop this a little bit more and provide a little more clearance for that wire. As you can see, I took out a 3/4 of an inch lower. I cut that the PVC pipe, I rounded it off, so now at least I can get these wires down and underneath the pipe without it pinching. So after chopping out that chunk of wood in the wall, we easily can reach our 16 1/4. We got a little play here, so actually it has to come up just slightly. But we've reached the distance that we want to reach for the pitch. Now let's look on the other side and see how the clearance looks on those wires. You see we got a lot more clearance between the pipe and the wire. Notice how nothing's making any contact. And the nail plates on the other side where the sheetrock aren't touching either. So what I might do is just put a little rubber stopper right even with the nail plates back there so that this pipe can rest right above those, because if I pull down on this pipe it just about hits. So I need to just keep it up just ever so slightly so I can reintroduce a wooden spacer in the back there to get that ideal clearance between the nail plates and the pipe. And we have plenty of clearance around the wires, so that's no longer an issue. And we obtain the correct pitch for the pipe. So that's a win. And then this wooden plate just gets pushed back in here like that. And we fasten it, and then everything's good on this end. So once I get that all done, I'm going to cut some more little pieces of plywood and close up these areas here. These go into the bathroom area, so I'm going to box these in with some plywood and put some insulation on the other side before we put the wall in. So this is a win. We got this where we want it. Just got to fasten all these boards down and put a little insulation in there and do some little detail work, and we're all set. Now that all that remains to be done on this end is to fashion a stanchion that can hold this pipe in the correct position and fasten it to a rafter, sort of like what we have here with this clamp and a ruler. So I got to come up with something that will do the job and be secure. So let me figure that out, and I'll show you what I come up with for that. Here's a good look at the garden window that was delivered yesterday. We got it in here and unboxed, and thought I'd give you a quick run around so you can kind of see what it looks like. So it has some metal brackets in each corner, because there's a couple of glass shelves that go in here as well. This has a lock and a crank out screen window on both of the sides here, so we can open this window up and get a little cross breeze. This mounts inside of the window, so this is a completely finished window. Up here where the plywood is would be the molding, and here's the outside look. So it's got a little drip edge for the waterproofing. So this section here goes against the house, and then there's a drip edge that gets mounted on the house and goes over this. So it's a nice expanse of glass, which will open up the kitchen a little more, give us a little more room. This is already finished, so there's nothing else to do to it. So this is going to go right in this window right here. So we just got to pull the casement window out and do a little bit of prep work before that drops in. Steve wants to get that done and in there before he puts the kitchen cabinet in front of it, just so it's a little easier to work on without, you know, reaching across a 24-inch cabinet. So he wanted to get that in ASAP, and then start putting a sink cabinet in first, and then put that in second. And then what I can do is start hooking up the plumbing. I cut this a little bit shorter so he can get his sheetrock and his cabinet against it without too much hassle. Steve's pretty much all done with the threshold in the shower and the walls. He has the Durock applied to all surfaces. There is a couple of odds and ends he has to finish up. I noticed there's some lines here for fasteners that are not currently present. So he needs to get another container of the fasteners and just put a couple more screws in here and there to finish this off. And then we'll be ready for Manny to come tile this up for us. So this is our vanity layout in regards to the swing of the door. So getting down a little closer, a 36-inch vanity is pretty close to the door, and there might be a little bit of an overhang for the countertop using a 36-inch vanity. So that would be the biggest we could get away with. We're leaning more towards a 32. That's kind of a standard size. A 34 isn't so common, but a 32 and a 30 is. So we're thinking if we go with a 32, that gives us a little more clearance between the door, just a little bit more space to maneuver. So we are going to go to a local establishment and have a look at vanities. We prefer to get one that's already assembled, has the sink and the faucet and all the handles and stuff on it. So we just drop it in here and go. That way we can make some measurements for the plumbing in the back that we have to reconnect. And I got to get a drain pipe in here. So we might be doing that today. I got to touch base with Jane, see if she's got some free time to go take a look at some vanities.